The world of sports is not always fun and games.
I feel Neil has fallen. We do have quite a spill at the head of the stretch down there.
Just as in real life, what happens in the sports arena is not always predictable. The sports world can be a dangerous place, as we will prove to you over the next 45 minutes. As a warning, some of this footage may be upsetting to watch. We call this video Fear, because while athletes enjoy battling for victory, there is always an undercurrent of fear within them, and for good reason. In the heat of competition, it's not uncommon to see tempers rise. In this game between college rivals, Georgetown University and the University of Pittsburgh, tempers reach the boiling point. Here's another college game where a hard foul is taken personally, resulting in chaos and bloodshed. Even at the high school level, a basketball game can erupt into mass disorder. In this case, the danger is in the stands, not among the players. Whether you are a competitor or just a fan in the stands, the possibility of danger exists, always. People who revel in danger have, for years, put their lives on the line for the sake of a breathtaking stunt. By pushing their craft to the limit, they are also increasing the chance of having their stunt explode in their face. This stunt is for the camera's eyes only. What happens when you pour gasoline on a skier and then light him on fire? No matter how well planned, a stunt like this can always go wrong. Here's a stunt that is designed not to thrill an audience, but to demonstrate how the mind can overcome pain. Taking it one step further, our martial arts expert then walks on red-hot coals. Speaking of mental toughness, one of the most dangerous professions in sports is that of the rodeo clown. Their job is to rescue the fallen cowboys by distracting the raging bulls. Sometimes they get more of the bull's attention than they originally intended. Rodeo cowboys, of course, are the first target of a raging bull. Every time the gate opens, their lives are put at risk.
You are violent. Watch here, watch here, watch here. Oh, no. Get him out of there.
Sometimes these cowboys compete in 2 or 3 rodeos a day, and they never know when they'll get a monster of a bull. This cowboy appears to have a steady handle on his bucking bronco, but when animals are involved, nothing is a sure bet.
We have some of the best first aid personnel in the country on ambulance this afternoon.
On the outside, Boom Boom Bunny is second. Trust Time saves ground in the pocket.
Horse racing is one of the most popular spectator sports, mainly because of the gambling. For the jockeys involved with these pacers, they are gambling too, that accidents like these never happen to them.
Second, off stride and down, and we have a bad spill on the backstretch. We need the outrider and the ambulance to the 3/4 mile mark immediately.
Outside Meadow Ideal comes now, boys, into the stretch. Ideal Neil has fallen. We do have quite a spill at the head of the stretch down there, so Dream of Victory is left with the lead. by Mr. Conman. Game skipper, no place to go in fifth, and Rick Line. They turn for home. They race for the wire. We have a spill. We have a spill. Drivers and horses down in that stretch. Coming down the stretch, Larry Joe has the lead, then jumping Jenny. Sixth, Eagle tip a gap of 4 to Alex Checkup. The early trailer is Skipper David. The entertaining first quarter has been completed in 29 and 4. We have a spill on
Honey Samoa right alongside in second, tipping to the outside. Q-View Bill 3 wide at third. We have an accident on the turn. We need the ambulance and the outrider immediately to the middle of the final turn. Those pacers turn for home. Slipper Rock on a short.
As the flames change on the fly. Oh, big collider came into the. Oh, what a blast by Stewart.
For a sport with so much grace and finesse, hockey can be downright brutal.
Pass intended for Paranika goes to the corner. Jason Muzzati. Muzzati makes the save, and now we're going to get a penalty. Whoa, what a collision. As Clucky and Redshaw going after each other, and they will head for the penalty box once they are trying to play.
And they won't let the issue die. Paul Stanton takes a shot.
More than receiving a vicious cheap shot, a hockey player's greatest fear is being on the losing end of a fight.
Redshaw is getting beat by Cummins badly. Well, this has gotten completely out of hand and ugly. They've got to stop this. Clark and Petawanaquat ran out of steam. They're just holding each other and watching the other battle go on. Well, they got to step in there. Looking for an opening so they didn't get decked themselves with the two linesmen. They're going to take, and Redshaw took some serious right hands across the eyes and the brow. Cummins is much bigger, much stronger.
In professional hockey, winning is everything. In the case here, the referee makes a disputed call that angers the team in blue. A disturbing scene then occurs. The losing team starts beating up on the defenseless referee. When this hockey player is ejected, emotions boil over. First, his coach expresses displeasure with the refs. Then his frustrated players start fighting. Next thing you know, the fans get involved, perhaps more than they ever imagined. A scene like this, where the players go beyond the rules of the game, is a problem not just in the sport of hockey. A game like baseball can be dangerous. Despite the slow pace of this game, emotions can erupt, and rules will be broken. The international sport of soccer can at first appear to be a gentlemanly game, but in reality, it can be a dirty sport. With the reputations of cities and even countries at stake, referees have been known to suffer more than their fair share of abuse at the hands of bitter players and fans. This referee is literally running for his life. No one ever said boxing was a clean sport or that it was played by gentlemen. But there are rules, even for a brutal sport like this. And at times, like every other sport we've seen so far, rules are broken when tempers reach their breaking point. Sometimes it even carries over into the parking lot. In football, incidents of collisions that leave permanent damage are becoming more common. Any one of these hits can lead to serious injury. Sometimes, even those who are not participating in the sport receive the brunt of a hard tackle. Even after the game, violence can occur. As graceful a sport as basketball can be, injuries on the court can be severe. And like the other sports we've seen, the fear of injury. The fear of tempers that reach the boiling point. And the fear of chaos in the stands are all legitimate concerns. In arenas around the world, indoor racing has developed an enthusiastic following. From dirt bikes to four-wheelers, there's a lot of competition to see who can create the best running machine. Of course, it's up to the drivers to control these high-strung machines. While in this case, it's the spectators whose lives are put in danger. Usually, it's the drivers who suffer the most damage. Millions of sports enthusiasts enjoy skiing down white powder slopes, but only the extreme skiers like to go where no man has gone before. This ski jump on uncharted territory provides the necessary charge for this thrill seeker. Provided he lives to relish the moment, it will be well worth it. Most of the extreme skiers settle for less challenging, but still extremely dangerous uncharted territories. Notice here how the skier in red barely misses plunging 1,000 feet. Earlier, we saw some terrible harness racing spills. Well, here's an incident that involves just one harness horse. The filly's name is Slandered, and before her race, she broke loose and headed for the main gate. Amazingly, she climbed the stairs leading up to the driver's waiting room. What was most frightening was that as Slandered walked out on the platform, a major highway loomed below her. One false move could have produced devastating results. Fortunately, she survived to race again. Unfortunately, thoroughbred racing also has its share of life-threatening spills. Judging by this old footage, death-defying stunts have been around for many years. Here's a recent stunt where a man on roller skates will attempt to crash through this heavy wall of bricks. For these kayakers, battling through this whitewater is no stunt, but it certainly is dangerous, especially when they spend much of their time upside down. Another water sport, water skiing, also has its moments of danger. Speedboat racing is definitely one of the most dangerous sports due to their incredibly high speeds. The biggest fear of any athlete is the unexpected. Those moments when disaster suddenly strikes. For instance, you can be traveling along, nice and smoothly, when inexplicably everything goes wrong. It happens in other sports as well. Here's some rodeo events that suddenly take a turn for the worse. Look what happens to this unfortunate rider. In gymnastics, not all landings go as planned. This innocent foul ball nearly cost this man's life. For these bicyclists, the unexpected can cause major damage. Look what suddenly possesses this irate soccer player. For this downhill skier, the worst has already begun. This steer wrestler is in for the jolt of his life. And this matador will unexpectedly encounter an uninvited guest. These racers pray to avoid accidents like these. Even spectators can find themselves suddenly involved in a rough fracas. These jockeys never imagined two deer would cross their path. The unexpected is always unwanted. It causes injury, it upsets the joy of competition, and it leaves lasting scars. Every race car driver will tell you that they have no fear when competing. They are too focused on the race at hand. That may be true, but at some point, like during these accidents, their focus has got to shift to their own personal survival. Stunts like this are certainly eye-pleasing. Some would say it's showing off or hot-dogging. Today, there actually is a sport just for serious hot dog competitors. It's a sport that can also produce some seriously hard landings. Here's a harness horse race that involves another dangerous spill.
29 and 4 and head to the 5/8 mile mark with Sycamore happy on top by 2. In second is Eleanor's Boy Racing. We have a horse down. We have a horse down in the stretch. Active time mark is down. We need the outrider to the quarter pole immediately.
As the announcer calls for help, the race continues. The Pacers have one more lap to go.
They race over to the half.
As the Pacers approach the final turn, the outrider and ambulance have already made their way onto the field, which ultimately causes another terrible accident.
On the outside, Cardamon Cody, 3 wide and 4th, as those Pacers turn for home. We have a...
Motor racing always attracts a large crowd, especially since every race practically guarantees some incredible crashes. While most riders are able to walk away from these wrecks, there's always the fear a freak accident will cause permanent damage. In all the sports we've shown you today, there exists danger. Some of it is caused by boiling emotions. Some by pushing the limit. And some is simply caused by accident. Whatever the reason, danger is always lurking on the edge of every competition and can cause a real sense of fear.